Well, hey YouTube, welcome back, my friends, once again to Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango, W3CT, your good old friend Jack. You know, I was recently doing an activation out in the park with the Xiegu G90, and it dawned on me that this device was getting very, very hot. So let's talk about the remedy for that right after this. Okay, guys, so what is the remedy for the G90 getting hot? Now, let's first talk about which G90 I have, and I'll show it to you here. The G90 with the actual heat sink on the bottom is the one I have. The newer one, I understand, does no longer have the heat sink on it, but I'm sure it also gets warm, okay, especially when you're running 20 watts. Now, for all, again, transparent purposes, like I always tell you guys, the radio itself was sitting, here's a picture of it right here. It was sitting directly on my dash with no airflow underneath of this thing whatsoever. But I've also noticed it to get really warm when I'm operating on a picnic bench. Even with that little metal stand that I have, let me see if I have a picture of it. I'll show it to you right here. Even with that metal stand under it, with it sitting up, it still gets a little warm. And that's just the general nature of that radio, I guess, because it's so compact and it's pushing 20 watts, which doesn't seem like a lot. But as you're keying that radio over and over and over and over, it's generating heat. So what is the remedy for that? Well, the remedy for that is something that I've had since I bought my G90 because it came in my kit. I've never used it, but I wanted to put it together on this video, give you a little walk around the device itself. We're going to put it to the test, see how it works, and then we'll talk about a little bit to wrap up this video. So what is this device? The device is actually and I have it written down, yes, because I don't want to make a mistake on this. It is the G90-H1, the holder cooling fan bracket for the G90. So you may have seen these in some other videos. I've seen a couple videos floating around YouTube with this bracket, them showing you how it hooked up and everything. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and put my spin on it and show you tonight from a person that's never used one, never set it up before. So we're going to put this thing together, and as I said, I brought a coax over here. We're going to hook the G90 up, and I'll try to make some, maybe, I don't know if I'll make some voice contacts or not. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how the bands are doing tonight, but or who may be on the radio, so who knows if we'll make any contacts. But I at least wanted to get it set up and walk you around the device and show it to you. Okay, this device sells at Radioddity. I just checked the list price for $69.99. So all intents and purposes, $70 for this device. But if it can save my radio, keep it cooler while operating, I would think that if you keep a radio cooler, I'm a computer guy. So if I keep a computer cooler, which radios anymore are software-defined radios, basically a computer in a box. If you keep it cooler, it seems to me like the transmitting power will stay more consistent, through your whole activation or through your whole working. If you have a G90 at home, I think this would also be a great device for you to have in your house. It couldn't hurt to keep your radio a little bit cooler. So with that said, let's go ahead. I'm going to open the box for the first time, pull the device out, show it to you. It's not really an unboxing as much as just show you how it's packaged and show you what's in the box. So let me go ahead and move this camera around. I'm going to actually have to pull out my G90, and we'll go ahead and start setting this device up and have a look at it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, so this is the box it comes in. I don't know if it's marked here at all. It is. Now this says it's the G90 radiator, and this is showing it's a GZF1, okay? But the model number I gave you on Radioddity is the G90-H1. So if you see there, the G90H1 is what I found on Radioddity. You'll find it once you see the device. Go on Radioddity, click on the Xiegu radios, and just scroll down and you'll find this actual mount. So let's go ahead and have a look here. All right, the packaging seems very nice. It's well packaged. The reason I have not taken this out in the field with me is I feel it's going to add extra weight. Guys, my Go Kit or travel box or whatever, and I'm sure you've seen the box before. If I have a picture of it, I'll throw it up right here. You know, it's one of the boxes like a, I don't know, it's an equipment box, right? Like a gun box or something where you cut the foam out like this and you put your devices in it. It is quite heavy already, and I didn't know if this will make it any heavier or not. But I'm going to have to find a way to maybe get this device out there with me, especially on warm days. So let's start on this side here. The first thing that comes with it is, looks like an Allen wrench. And if I'm not mistaken, yep, these are actually Allen screws right here. All right, that's what this is for. Allen wrench. I thought I would need my screwdriver, so I brought my handy dandy screwdriver kit over, but I do not need that. The next thing it has on it is these hold downs, right? And you can see this little hinge. This hinge is going to go on the side of the mount itself. And the idea with this is you can lock your radio in, and I'll show you that once we get this all set up and put together. Here's the second hinge for the other side. Seems to be some kind of foam or something on these, probably from the packaging itself. Not no big deal. Just make sure everything's kind of wiped off there. And it has this locking clasp on it. The idea there is it'll go into this one and it will actually lock on top of your radio. Okay. Now you're thinking, okay, Jack, it's going to scratch my G90. They did put rubber mounts in here, so there's rubber grommets all the way around this thing. So it's going to sit pretty much on the rubber and it won't be metal to metal. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and pull the actual mount out of the box. Okay. So this is the mount itself. You can see where there's a fan. Okay. It looks like, to me, it actually looks like, which if it's the case, I have to see if I can use that or not. It's really interesting because, no, I guess that's right. I guess it's got two different mounts on it. So if you look, what I'm looking at here is the power plugs, okay? It's got Anderson power poles on it, but also has a power pole, which I believe is the same one that's on the back of the radio, okay? That's the one that's on the radio itself. So that is the same power poles that come with the radio. But this is also, if you have Anderson power poles, you can plug them in here. So that is a nice touch on this thing. On the top here, it has a, you see this little part right here? I'm believing that that may be a heat sensor. As the radio heats up, I believe the fan turns on. Now, I'm not sure of that yet. That's why I wanted to set this thing up and test it. And I wanted to see how noisy that fan was. If we can get it going, we'll try to get a recording of how noisy that fan is. All right, let me set this down for 1 minute because I wanted to see. Yeah, there's no instructions in here at all. So it's pretty much self-explanatory, I guess, how it goes together. All right. I'm kind of working around the back side of the camera here, so we'll see if I can do this. Put that box aside because I can't get really close to my workbench here. The nice thing about this also is I was looking, it has pull down legs, okay? One on that side, and this is all metal, okay? Listen, there's no plastic, it's all metal. And the idea there is the radio will sit up. Now, the one thing I don't like about that already, watch. It does slide all over the place. There's no rubber on here. I would probably figure out some kind of rubber caps to put on here or something. Just to keep it, maybe a couple little feet on the back, and none of that came with it. So that would keep it from moving around. But I think with the way of the radio, it's going to hold it down a little bit, and it should be okay. All right, so the first thing we have to do is install these little hinges onto the side right here. See this? That's where those are going to go. So let's just stand it up on edge here. Maybe the box will come in handy. Look at that. Perfect. We can just stand it up on edge. Put this in here. And put those screws in. Those little screws in with the little Allen wrench here. Okay, that's going to be our next step. Remember, guys, anytime if the video seems to get boring or you seem to say, hey, Jack, I'm pretty sure I know how to screw things in, that's fine. Please just fast forward to the next section. and keep it going there, okay? I can tell you they only give you 4 screws, no extras. So make sure you don't lose those. I'm always good for losing screws. I don't know about you guys, but I do tend to lose things every now and then. All right, let's see if I could do this over here. Wheel. And those screws are very small, extremely small screws. Okay, I'm going to try to get at least one started there. All right, that went in pretty well. I don't want to tighten it all the way just yet because I'll get the second one in. Okay, I always keep my Allen wrenches with my equipment, so I'm going to put this back in the pouch here, just so I can keep it. All right, I guess the next step will be to show you what the final results looks like, right? So these are just hanging over there. Let's put the legs back out. Okay, there's the legs. And now you can see how that's put together, right? So it goes over there again. This is going to clasp over. Come on. It's just going to simply clasp over there. And that will go on top of your radio. Okay, just like that. Again, just to hold it in. And to keep everything nice and snug in there. Okay, let me get the G90 out of the travel case here, or whatever you want to call this case. My protective cover. And we'll put the G90 in there, bring the battery up here, hook it up, and we'll have a look at how this thing is actually functioning. Okay guys, so I got my battery pack that I use in the field, my 6 amp hour Life Po 4. Okay. But I think what I'll do first is, we'll mount the G90 inside the bracket. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so I'm just pulling those aside. Let's bring my coax over here now. Put that into the radio first. I don't know about you guys, but I've always wanted to have my coax in before my power. And I don't think I have a whole lot of coax to come over here. Anyway, let's see what we could do here. So we'll take the radio then, we'll set it in the mount. See on the back there. Really no, I guess it goes all the way to the back. Okay. The power plug at that point, right here, plugs into the radio. Oh, let's put it the right way here. right into the radio. Just trying to show you that there. All right, so it's in the radio itself. Let's put it back down on the bench here. Get these legs to flip back out. All right, there's that part. You take the clasp, put it over the top. Yeah, it's a pretty snug fit, guys. All right, and again, there's rubber in there, so the rubber's actually holding that on. All right, just like so. Okay. These are the leads that came with the radio. With mine, now yours may have the Anderson power poles on, which is okay because it also accepts power poles, so you're good to go. Let's get the battery hooked up here. Okay. And we'll then plug this power into the side. And can you hear that? The fan's already running. You hear that? Here, let me pull the microphone down to it and see if you can't hear it any better. It's not extremely loud. It is pushing a lot of coolant down. Turn the radio on. Okay, so the radio is up. It is pulling. Get my microphone back on here. It is definitely pulling a lot of heat. I can feel the fan pulling down. It's blowing the heat down like it's pulling it off that heat sink. I mean, you got to admit, it does look nice, especially if you're using this for a home base station. Guys, that looks really, really nice there. Okay. I don't know if we can find any pose stations or not. Let's go off here and see. Right now, I'm on my end-fed half wave hanging off the house here. The tuner's not on. Let's see what happens if I hit the power button here. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's about a 1.4, about a 1.2. We'll turn the tuner on. Not that one. Now we'll do another sweep. Look at that, huh? Can you see that on the video there? Nice and flat, okay? Let's see if we can't tune up and see if we can't hear anybody on sideband. I can honestly say, actually, you can't hear the fan when you're listening to the audio of the radio. Now, with it turned down, I can obviously hear it. And what I don't know, here's what I'm not sure of, is how much power is it drawing off this battery back here. You know, how much faster will it drain that battery? Now, I did just buy, if you watched the video where my battery died, I just bought another one of these that I carry in the car now. So I do carry two of those, and I'll probably need some information in the comments below. Can I build a battery box and put both those together and wire those up? That might be something I might be working on here very soon. So yeah, being the fan does not shut off at all, you know, but again, I don't know how much power that fan will be drawing. So, all right, well, let's wrap this video up, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts of the G90 H1 holder cooling fan bracket. It went together very easily. I don't like this part of it, or it's sliding around. I think it needs some kind of rubber feet on there or something to keep it steady. I mean, it's not going to blow off your desk or anything, or, you know, it's fine, but I just think I like to have something more permanent. All right, let's go ahead and finish and wrap this up. All right, guys, so let me give you my final thoughts of this. Again, I like to refer to the actual radio oddity, yeah, part number G90-H1 holder cooling fan bracket, selling for $69.99. I have no contacts with the company and no affiliations with them, so I don't have a discount code. But I know they do at different times have a lot of sales on their products, so you know you can go there and buy it for sure. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to buy it. That way it'll take you right to the product. How about that? Again, I don't have any affiliate with them. It's just a product that I have that I'll be using now. So my final thoughts is, again, I don't like it sliding around on the tabletop. I mean, that's a minor thing. I'll figure that out. Once I do, I'll let you guys know, maybe as a YouTube short or something. The connections to it they're very tight. Everything's very good. I mean, you could pick it up with that bracket. It's not going to do anything. You can actually do that. The mount itself is absolutely cool because it keeps the radio up. You know, it keeps the radio up at an angle, and that's what you want. Again, it's very tight in there. My other bracket does allow the radio to slide back and forth on it, so you got to be careful, especially if those brackets spread apart. And if you're using them, you know what I'm talking about. This is not going to spread on you. Now, again, I don't know how much amperage that fan is drawing. I'm not sure. I'm sure it says on the website. You can probably look that up for yourself and figure out what it is drawing. But, again, this radio got really, really hot. And I showed you the picture of it sitting on the car dashboard. Now, I don't always work out of the car. As soon as it gets nice, I'll be working on picnic tables. But last year, it also got warm on a picnic table after about, you know, an hour of usage. And when you're out doing a POTA activation, or when we were doing Winter Field Day, or I was at the Charlie Museum recently, I was on the radio all day long. So it does get warm. So this will solve that problem. Now, if you're just using this on a base with a power supply, that's gonna be the ultimate right there, right? If you're using it on a power supply and you have this thing connected up, I would definitely have this. If I'm using this radio full time at home, I know a lot of you guys that's been commenting in my videos, that you know, you have the G90, you use it as home on your base station, buy this thing. It's going to make the longevity of your radio, I think, a lot longer because those finals are going to stay a lot cooler in there, right? So, but yeah, so there you have it. I hope that video was interesting to you. And, you know, as I always say, I never know what I'm going to record next. And you'll see lately, there's been a couple weeks I've been trying to post Tuesdays and Fridays, guys, and some weeks I just don't have anything. You know, I'm still teaching every day, so that does take, you know, priority over. And not that you guys aren't a priority. You guys are a priority in my life. I love this community that we built here. But on the other hand, I do have to worry more about work and my students and getting them through the rest of the school year. And then I'm sure I'll be building more antennas. I got a lot of this in my head that I want to get some parts and pieces for to start building more antennas and putting those together. But I thought this would be an interesting subject to talk about. Something that you may need for your G90. Hey, if you haven't bought a G90 yet, why not? Again, I'm not affiliated with them. It's a radio I believe in. I went out to the field yesterday on a POTA activation. I don't know if you do POTAs or field activations. But now it was a good day. It was a green day, a green solar day, I guess you could call it. So it was like a go day, right? But I had my 10 contacts I needed in about 9 to 10 minutes. So it works. The radio is great. And what can I say? I truly love it. I would never advertise anything to you folks that I wouldn't be using myself. I purchased this. This is all my own equipment. And I just wanted to share that with you just so you know where I'm coming from. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. Stick around here with me. I'd love to keep you around, especially if you're a G90 fan. If you're an antenna builder and you want to learn more about antennas, I've actually been building antennas, and I'm going to show you here because transparent, out of the portable wire antenna book. Okay, see if you can see that. The portable wire antenna book. There is tons of information in here. Guys, it's not a real thick book. I think the total page count is, I don't know, 179 pages. You can get it on Amazon, and I also have a link for this book in the description below. But if you like building antennas, you want to know more about antennas, this thing is awesome, man. It could tell you everything you need to know. And I've been having a really great time reading it and learning everything I can learn about antennas. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango, W3CT, your good old friend Jack, back up here once again in kind of lame, the Jack Shack. I will talk to you next time. 73s, hope to catch you on the airwaves. Bye for now, everybody. Take care.